Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is a follow-up on the natural hair journey video that I posted a couple of weeks ago. So if you haven't watched that, please go there first to have an idea of what my journey was all about. In this video, what I want to do is address some of the products, the regimens, the techniques, and the styles that I used during that journey. So I received so many questions about my regimen, and I realized actually I had so many, and I kept track of all my goals and all my regimens and products. So I actually have the notes here, so I'm able to repeat them back to you, which is perfect. I always recommend for you to stay on top of your journey through noting things down. So let's start with my transitioning days. So during my transition, I was really good in keeping my hair very protected, and I had a very structured regimen. During that time, I was co-washing every 2 weeks, so I was washing my hair with conditioner. I would detangle my hair with the conditioner I would wash out in my hair, and I would deep condition every time I washed, and I would deep condition overnight and wash it out in the morning, and I would shampoo when needed. And what that meant to me at that time was probably every 3 to 4 washes. In terms of technique, I would use a wide tooth comb to detangle at that time. This was my product junkie phase, so I was using all sorts. I was using wild growth oil. I was using basically any product that promised fast results, grow 1 inch in 1 week and all that sort of thing. And while these things, sound very delicious and that and stuff, they're not really long-term solutions. Whereas having a steady, reliable and effective hair care regimen with steady and reliable products and good technique is really what grows your hair, with my opinion anyway. So after my product junkie phase, where I had like 100 things in my cabinet, I finally grew out of that partially. And the shampoo I used at the time was Jason's shampoo, and I put a picture of all the products on screen. I also used, for deep conditioner, it was Aubrey Organics, and I used the protein balancing one. But I actually preferred the white camellia, so I moved on to that one and didn't go back to the protein one. But both those products, I think Aubrey Organics is now closed, sadly. I used Suave's conditioner as my washout conditioner. It was the one that everyone was using at the time. If you started your natural hair journey back then, I'm sure that you were also using Suave, the strawberry one. So that's what I was using. And I used to use Giovanni's conditioner, the deep one, as a leave-in. And I used to seal with either coconut oil or olive oil. My hair preferred olive oil, but I didn't actually know why at the time. So when it came to styling, I did a lot of buns that were like right on the top of my head. I don't have any photos of it, but I'll put a visual representation of that. As it was easy, it didn't get in the way as I slept because I have quite a sensitive head. And yeah, it was just easy. I stayed away from things like twists and braids with my own hair because obviously the ends of my hair were straight, and so it wasn't that appealing. The issues that I had back then with my hair were actually the fact that I had a very, very dry scalp. So I'll tell you how I solved that in just a bit. Moving on to newly natural. When I went natural, I kept the same regimen, so nothing changed there. For products, I switched out my Jason shampoo for Head and Shoulders because I thought it might help with the dandruff. I don't know if it helped too much, but I do remember my hair feeling a lot thicker after I made the switch. If it was my imagination, I'm not so sure. For styling, when I went natural, I thought I'd always be in wash and goes because that's what I saw around often, but it didn't work for me. My hair never dried for some reason, and when I would put it up at night for the pineapple, it just wouldn't come down properly. I would struggle. I'd have to re-wet it in order to get the hair to sort of stay down, or I'd have to pin it everywhere. So it just didn't work for me, and my hair also didn't really like the gels that I was trying. So I let that go and I moved on to mostly twists. I'd wear my twists for 1 week, then wear twist outs for the second week, or I'd experiment with a bunch of different styles as well. So I'll put pictures of those. In terms of issues, I really suffered with dryness on the ends of my hair at this point. Everyone would say that you should cut your ends when they feel dry or when they have split ends because it will cause damage in the long term. And so I would do just that. I was always cutting my hair, I think every 2 months or so, because I would cut it, it'd feel good, and then the results would go away, and so I'd have to cut it again. And this went on for months and months and months, and I just was not retaining any length. In fact, at one point it felt like my hair was getting shorter. I would watch YouTubers do reviews on products, and they would always say, oh, my hair feels so soft, it feels so lovely, oh my gosh, and things like that. And I realized that my hair never felt like that, and so I just kept cutting. After that, I started doing a lot of research on why this could be, and I finally found out that my hair, one, didn't like protein, and two, it was very dry. So I started to experiment with cutting out the coconut oil, being more diligent on what the actual ingredients were and the products that I was using. And I also tried out the greenhouse method, I think it's called, or the baggie method, where you wet your hair, you put it in a little baggie and you leave it there to sort of soak. It was great. It definitely helped with the ends. However, my hair did feel like it was tangling over time as well, so it felt like I couldn't win at this point. Moving on to natural stage 2, this is when I had my awakening. Rather than copying other people's regimens, I was really diligent in finding out what my hair did like and what it didn't, and going from there. I finally understood that my hair tangled when it was wet or damp, so I started using methods that would keep my hair moisturised for longer to avoid wetting it repeatedly throughout the week. This was the LOC or lock method. I also got a tangle teaser for more thorough detangling sessions, so I got the results I needed, retained more length because my hair stayed moisturised for longer and I didn't have as much breakage. It wasn't all smiles though, because my shedding increased a lot through the detangling process as well. For products, I had one change. I started using the Be Mine buttercream, I think it was, as my C for the LOC method. For styling, I started doing a lot more mini twists and things like that, and mini twists out, that sort of thing, and some other styles, so I'll leave some photos here for you to see. I did start to have some issues. My hair started to feel really lackluster and the curls weren't as bouncy, and it started to feel really dry. And when I was washing, I noticed I had a bit of a grey film over my hair. I later learned that this was product buildup, because heavier products that I was using now needed more effort to wash out than the lighter ones that I was previously using. So I'll tell you how I solved that in just a bit. Moving on to natural stage 3. In terms of regimen, I had a few changes due to the issues that I just mentioned. So I started to shampoo every wash. I was deep conditioning for only a couple of hours a day because I just didn't have the time to do it overnight anymore. I started doing more finger detangling as I felt that the tangle teaser wasn't really needed because my hair was always stretched, so I didn't get as many tangles. And I believe everything else was pretty much the same. In terms of products, I started using shea butter as a more natural alternative to the creams that I was already using. My hair loved it. Only thing is that I didn't really like the smell, but I kept using it anyway. When it came to styling, I was doing more and more braids and braid outs, as you can see. So I started developing my stretching technique, which later morphed into what I do now. If you want more information on that, I have a how I stretch my hair video that I made a couple of months ago, so please feel free to check it out. I didn't really have many issues, but I wanted to change, and that led me to the next stage, which was natural stage 4, in which I cut my hair back to collarbone length. This was a really unique stage because I wasn't really focused on growth. I was really just focused on style at this point. So I'd wash my hair every week just because it would lose volume over time. So I'd wash it every week. I did the same stretching techniques. And since my hair was shorter, I did about 4 to 6 braids every night for that technique. In terms of products, I was using a lot of gels because I really like to have one side of my hair gelled down. I was using a leave-in as well as a shea butter as well. And that's it really. If you watch my other natural hair journey video, you'll know that after this point I got a bit lazy, very lazy with my hair, and I would completely fell off the wagon. But one thing worth mentioning is that when I was getting back on it, I did experiment quite a bit with grease. So I know grease is a bit of a taboo in the natural hair community, but the reason I wanted to try was because I saw it basically as a stronger version of shea butter, and so I thought maybe my hair would stay sealed for longer, and it did just that. It was moisturized for longer, but the problem I had was that I had a lot of build up because I just couldn't get the grease to wash out. So it didn't turn out to be the best one for me, but I know it works for a lot of other people. Moving on to natural stage 5. At this point I had a lot of life changes. I moved to another country and I was also living in a share house as well, so I had to make some major changes to my regimen so that I didn't inconvenience anyone else. In terms of regimen, I'd wash my hair every 2 to 3 weeks in the twists I had them in the week before usually, and that's so I could spend less time in the shower, so it'd only take about 10 to 15 minutes and someone else could use it. I'd then detangle my hair in my bedroom with my leave-in instead, and I'd basically simultaneously detangle a twist and twist it up again. So that's what my regimen looked like. I hardly ever deep conditioned at that point. I just didn't have the time and nothing much changed, but I realized I retained a lot of length because I really wasn't manipulating my hair a lot at all. I was touching it like 2 or 3 times every month, and so it really had the time to grow. In terms of styling, as I said, it was mainly large twists. I did mini twists as well. I did twist outs for the last Friday that I had my hair in twists, and I also had attached ponytail puffs as well that weren't my real hair, and that just helped me protect my hair underneath as well as things like braid outs I started to do more often, so I'll put some photos for you here. For products, I had a really hard time finding what I needed as I was in a foreign country, and so I would import them, which was really expensive. So by the time I left the country, I actually ended up using a bunch of products that they would use. But when it came to my leave-in and shea butter, I would always keep, and I started to make my own shea butter blends and butters, which led me to ifshesopleases that we have now. Link in the description if you'd still like to purchase a butter. Thank you so much for your support, everyone. I'll just insert some more photos of my hair at this time. Now, it might feel like my hair grew really fast. No, I was in that other country for over 2.5 years, so that explains the growth. And second thing is that when my hair is in twists, even now at tailbone length, it's still at shoulder length. So twists versus braids and braid outs is a huge difference for me in terms of shrinkage. One thing I can mention is that summers were really warm in that country as well. So I used to do some wash and goes in the summer. So I'll insert some photos of that. Now, I could only do it there because my hair would actually dry, thank God. So I'd keep my hair in a wash and go for a few days, and I just wash it and repeat. And I did that for about a summer. It was really great. Only thing is that my hair tangled more than I would want it to in the center of my head as well as the back. So it's not something I do while I'm home now, but it was great while it lasted. Fast forward to where we are now. For my regimen, I wash my hair every 1 to 2 weeks with shampoo. I also deep condition every wash as well. For more details on that, I have a video called My Wash Day, so please check out Seen in the Nitty-Gritty on how I do that. For products, I only use 4 in my regimen, 3 in the summer, 4 in the winter. Shampoo, which is the one on screen. Deep conditioner, I have no staples, I'll let you know when I find one. A leave-in only for the winter, and then I use my hair butter on top of that, and that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was useful. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. One thing that I really want to show in this video is that there isn't just one way to do a natural hair journey. There isn't just one regimen. It's a golden regimen. There are times when you find something and it works for you, and then it won't work for you for different reasons, and just getting to know your hair is the most important thing. So I hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.